what up? It's Matt, continuing from the last video on the interior and the shifter. So I just got this smaller shift boot off of the factory shifter here, and there are some tears on it, but it's not completely. You can kind of see one right there. And I'm just gonna check and see if it will even come close to fitting on the new shifter. I'm now that I have it off of the factory shifter and in my hand, I am skeptical, very skeptical, but let's see. So I'm thinking this probably isn't gonna work. I don't know, maybe you could cut to make space for this part of the shifter, but I think still it's gonna be, I mean, if you look at it from above, it would have to stretch quite a bit. So I don't know, probably not gonna work, but we'll see. Oh, and also I got seat belts back in, I got the back seat back in. I taped up the wires for the stereo for now. I got the this, I remember, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but these pieces that hold the carpet and cover the door sills. So now I'm just waiting for the lower shift boot and metal ring, and then I can get the and then I'll get the shifter points, whatever they're called, the little screws, get those situated, and put the seats back in, and hopefully be able to take the car for a drive. I just recorded like a bunch of stuff and I realized that I had the camera in slow motion, so now I have to do it over again. So anyways, FedEx guy just arrived, brought some new stuff for me. Pretty excited. Got the new lower shift boot so I can finish doing the SVE short throw shifter install. I got a set of wait for it, I can open this box with one hand. Interior screw kit for 1987-1993 Mustang hatchback. This should come in handy now and in the future. And then I also got a ARP bolt kit for the water pump. And speaking of the water pump, I think I mentioned this in my last video, but here it is. Got the gasket, and here's the new water pump. So that's my next, that's next on the agenda, addressing the cooling system. Once I get the shifter sorted out and get the interior put back together, and probably drive the car a few more times before I incapacitate it again. So pretty exciting. So here is the old shifter boot. Actually isn't in too bad a shape. I mean, it's, you know, considering that it's got 147,000 miles on it, and this is a 32-year-old car, it's actually not too bad. This top part is a little bit bent, and then on the other side, the actual boot itself is is a little bit torn up, and this is the new one. I mean, it seems okay. This this material here on the bottom, it actually kind of reminds me of the I don't think there's a sticker or anything. It kind of reminds me of the seal for the factory airbox, and also the one that was used on the Cervini's ram air intake kit. So next thing I need to do is get take this off for now, is get these parts lined up. I think they're like the shift stop screws. I just gotta put them in, I think, third gear. I can't remember which gears, but I gotta put them in gear, and then adjust these you can see them right here, these bolts, to get them really close to where the shifter ends up when you have it in gear and pushed as far forward as possible. So we'll get working on that here in a minute. Okay, so I went ahead and adjusted the shift stop point things. I think it was a 13 millimeter wrench. I used two 13 millimeter wrenches, and I brought this piece forward, like the actual screw, in in third and fourth gear, I think, and then I backed it off a little bit and then tightened down the nut. So it seems like that's what you're supposed to do. And then this is the SVE, I can't focus my camera. This is the SVE shifter handle. It's not tightened down all the way, but I did put the Cobra, the 03 Cobra style shift knob on it, and it did not align. Once it was all the way down, it did not align. So I'm hoping that maybe once I tighten everything down, I can have a little bit more leverage to get that aligned the way it's supposed to. If not, then maybe I'll put a nut or a washer or something to assist. So yeah, that's the SVE. And also I did try a few times to see if I could get this over the shifter mechanism to serve as like a dust boot, and it is not happening. So I did find a website, I can't think of the name of it right now, a website that sells one that looks like it works well with the Pro 5.0 shifter, which based on pictures online looks like it could be about the same diameter as the SVE, but I'm not too keen. It's like $48, which I get if it's like a one-off, if it's a thing that it's like the only thing that they make. You pay for what you need, and I'll think about it. Maybe I'll just do the lower shift boot without like a dust guard for a little while, and then just open it back up and see if there's any if there's a lot of debris or anything in the in this area. But I don't know, we'll see. It's I'm also thinking, my concern with that approach is that once I get the console back in, it'll be a pain to take the lower shift boot out to try to put something on there. But I don't know, we'll see. We will continue messing with this and see where it goes. Getting the screws in, or bolts in, for the lower shift boot. And I got the nuts on the other side. It seems like both the nuts and the bolts are 13 millimeter, which is convenient since the shift stops were also 13 millimeter. So, oops. I'm not sure about torque specs on these, but I'm guessing you don't want to tighten it too much. So I'm not going to go too crazy. So there is the SVE short throw shifter, and I just have to decide, am I going to use my 03 Cobra style shift knob or the Budweiser King of Beers shift knob when I do my test drive. We'll see. You know you want it to be the Budweiser King of Beers. So, you see this console? If you watched my previous video, you'd probably remember that I had a big issue with taking it out before, because I had the shifter in the way. So naturally, on the return process, I managed to forget that I need to have the shifter off before I put the console in. Genius, pure genius. What up? Okay, another day has passed, and I am back at trying to figure out how to get the center console in here. I have a plan. I'm going to try something, see if it works. I mean, my plan is to try and get this in without breaking anything, but we'll see. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the metal ring around the lower shift boot, and then I'm going to undo what I did with the shift stop on the backside of the shifter, and then try to put the console in and then tighten down the redo the shift point screw, and then try to put the as I'm saying this, it already sounds like a terrible idea because I already know what it's like to remove the metal ring with the console in. So I'm just like, no, I don't even know if this is a good idea. Okay. Stand by while I think some more. Okay, so my plan didn't exactly work because when I, even with adjusting the rear shift limit thing, I was still not able to pull the shifter back far enough to do the console, so I just ended up unscrewing the bolts that hold the shifter in, and now I'm going to try to put them back in and then try to keep the console where it is while I try to put this back in, which I'm anticipating will be a huge pain. Super exciting. This is Gus. He's our foster dog. He's super shy. I thought I heard the FedEx man. Did you hear something? Okay, FedEx man. Couldn't have just put it on the front porch? I got something that I at least one thing that I think I need. Another thing that I'm not sure I'll need. Stand by. So first, this is the thing that I probably won't end up needing unless it fits better than the one that we tried earlier. This is a dust boot that I thought might work with the new shifter, but I'm not completely sure. And this, since I have this habit of whenever I order a small thing, I always try to order something to make sure I get free shipping, something that I know I'm going to eventually order anyway. I like to tell myself it saves me money, but could probably make an argument. Stand by. This is in there pretty tight. So this is a coolant overfill or overflow tank. Since I'm doing the whole cooling system, this will replace, you can kind of see it, I probably should get the light, but this will replace this. I didn't get a new cap, which now that I'm looking at it, I think I should have, but yeah, seems like a pretty nice piece if I don't drop it on the ground and break it. So, yeah. I would like to say that's the last piece of the cooling system, but I've said that like 3 times. So anyways, one more thing. So this is the new replacement dust boot that I might not be able to use. And this is the old one, the OEM one. Looks like the new one might be a little bit bigger, but I don't know if it'll fit on the new shifter. Let's give it a try. Yeah, that's definitely not going to stretch enough to get over this, so. Oh well. Okay, so I managed to get the lower shift boot in, and then now I kind of pulled the console back. It's kind of hard to see. It's not completely flush the way it's supposed to be. And I am able to access the back, well, I guess the front area where the 2 bolts need to go for the lower shift boot. So now I'm going to try and get the other one on the other side and get a little 1/4-inch ratchet, and then hopefully get the rest of the console put together. Okay, I got the console in, but as you might notice, there's some residue, or whatever you call it. Kind of looks like rubber cement or pancake batter or something right here, because basically I ended up having to pull this little storage cubby thing out. I'm not even sure. I mean, it shows that it's a Ford part, but the way that it was in there, I'm not sure if that's the way it was supposed to be, or if somebody like modified it from another car or something. But I basically could not get the screws all the way in on the lower shift boot without pulling that out. So not too excited about having to do that. Now my stereo area looks even uglier than it did with just the head unit missing, or receiver, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. I'll have to figure something out. For now, my priority is getting everything back together so that I can test out the shifter. So don't judge me for my ugly stereo or non-stereo console setup thing. It should be a judgment-free zone. Okay, I got the interior put back into place for the most part, and I got the shift boot, the upper shift boot on, although my looks like I had the same issue. You can see you really have to push it down to get it all the way to the bottom of the threads. So maybe at some point I will order a shorter shift boot. I'm going to try and see if I can get this shift knob on and aligned the correct way. So and the light's not great. I got it on, just took one final tough twist, but the upper shift boot is definitely, there's a lot of extra material. I'm not sure if it'll make any difference in the shifting, but we'll take it for a drive, see how it goes, and yeah. About to take it for a drive. I can already say one thing that I do not love about the SVE shifter is that it just comes straight up, whereas the Steeda and the OEM, they kind of come back closer to you. I mean, I'm tall and I have pretty long arms, so it's not that big of a deal, but we'll give it a try, and then we'll try the other shifter handles. Just took it for a drive. Initial first impressions, it's a pretty subtle difference between this and the stock shifter. I mean, it seems like the shifting gears is a little bit more crisp, a little bit shorter throws. I definitely noticed it was smoother going into fifth gear, and it took a couple times, but also third gear. And I have to say, I'm not a fan of the short shifter handle, the SVE. I think part of it is just, well, it's not the height of it, it's just the angle. So I think I'm going to try out the Steeda or the OEM shifter just to have it at a better angle. So yeah, I'm going to, it was a little dark to record anything, but I'm going to give it a drive tomorrow with the one of the other handles and give my other thoughts. Yeah, happy to be driving the car again though. Woohoo! So after driving the car again with the SVE shifter handle this morning for a little bit longer, I actually have to take back what I said earlier. I do like, I definitely started to like the shorter shifter now. I do still want to see how it feels with the SVE shifter with the other two shifter handles. I'm going to try that here. I brought my tools with me so that I can kind of do a little bit of back-to-back when I go for a little drive. But there's something that I really like about this shifter. I don't know if it's anything to do with the handle, is that it seems to like just go in and out of gear like very smoothly, and it kind of pops back into neutral in like a, I don't know if I'm even explaining that right, but it almost feels like there's like some sort of spring loaded action on it, and it feels like it feels a lot better going in and out of gear, and then when it comes back to neutral, it feels like a lot better. I have to work on my vocabulary to find a better way to explain that, but I'm going to go for a drive here in a minute and drive with the current shifter, and then probably switch to one of the other ones, and then try to do a sort of a back-to-back comparison, which, you know, sometimes is hard when there's time between installs, but there shouldn't be too much time here. So yeah. Okay, so I once again am a master of poor timing. It is too dark to actually record a decent video, at least while driving, so I'm gonna have to try this in the morning or sometime when it's not dark outside. I have the factory shifter handle on the SVE shifter right now. I drove it once the other night, and I'm gonna do it again here. So I think the angle is okay, but I feel like maybe it's because the handle isn't like made for the shifter. It doesn't feel, I guess, it doesn't feel as smooth or crisp going into gear. So I think I'm gonna probably end up going back to the SVE Shifter Handle, which I have seen a couple people refer to as like a knockoff of the Pro 5.0 shifter, which it didn't occur to me until somebody said that, and then I looked at pictures kind of comparing them, so it makes sense. But it definitely seems like SVE did something right in terms of pairing the shifter handle with the shifter. So I think I'll probably switch back to the shifter I came with and then use that for a while. Okay, so my conclusion after driving the car with all three shifter handles is that my favorite one is definitely the SVE, the one that comes with the SVE shifter. I think the Steeda Triax shifter handle, it was fine with the stock shifter. Like, I actually felt like it was a little bit of an improvement over the stock shifter handle on the stock shifter mechanism. But on the SVE shifter, I don't know if it's the weight, or something else, but I think that, obviously the shifter handle for the SVE shifter was designed to go with that shifter. So I'm going to go ahead and take the stock shifter handle off and put the SVE one back on, and then probably drive the car like that for the foreseeable future. Yeah, so I would say, initial review with the shifter in general is that it's good quality. The process of installing it sucks, but that's only because of getting the console out, which I'm sure there's Fox Body guys who have had less problems getting the console out, but that's fine. I would recommend it. It seemed like a good bang for the buck, and I'm excited to get the SVE shifter handle back on and then drive the car a little bit more. So yeah, anyways, if you're new to my channel and you like my video, please hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for the next Fox Body Mustang project video. Hope you're staying healthy, hope you're staying safe. Peace out.